Eyewitness News, an ABC7 AccuWeather alert.
Hey, I want to bring you an update on this major winter storm that's hitting the Chicago area right now. We are in the thick of it. Areas have already seen more than 6 inches of snow. More of it is expected to pile up in the next few hours. A lot of shovels and snowplows busy this morning. There will be more work ahead. Now, we want you to know you can see Kelly and Ryan over on our digital channel 7.2. This is, however, a big storm. We want to update you on conditions out there. So let's get the latest now from meteorologist Tracy Butler. Where are we? How are we doing now, Tracy?
Hey, you know, we still have that snow that's coming down around the area right now, and it is going to continue to feed more snow in the area throughout the rest of the morning, and certainly as we get into the afternoon. I've been getting some beautiful pictures from folks just stepping out with their phones in their backyard. 5 from Crete took this one, and more coming into the ABC7 Weather Center, and more snowfall totals as well. So a huge list. Now, I put this list together just specifically in Cook County, and there will be more coming in throughout the morning and throughout the rest of the day as well. But Midlothian coming in with 8 inches of snow. Tinley Park, 7.5. Logan Square, 6 inches of snow. I just got this one in Homewood at 9 inches of snow. Then you get to Schaumburg. You've barely had 2 inches of snow there. Northbrook, 1.5 inches. So I just wanted to specifically focus on Cook County in this particular snowball. You can make a lot of snowballs, but snow totals graphic. But I will be assembling many more here as the morning goes on. Now, visibility. This is really important to look at when we're trying to assess how rapidly or how heavy the snow is falling. And we have to take into consideration some blowing snow as well. But we still have some terrible visibility out at Midway and Gary, Valparaiso, Michigan City. Get down to Kankakee where the visibility is down to 1/4 mile. So we know it is snowing very heavily there. Still moderate to heavy snow south of the city and out toward Midway right now. And then as you see over into Michigan City as well, even out in Aurora, where a couple of hours ago, you only had about 3 inches of snow in Aurora. I would imagine by now you're probably looking at 5, maybe even closing on 6, because I've been watching that visibility out that way. Here's a look at live Doppler 7 Max, and what you are seeing, these areas where you notice the darker blue, that is a pretty good band of some snow right now that is moving in through Elk Grove, and then we go to the southern suburbs as well as northwest Indiana and over toward Valparaiso, where there has been 5 to 6 inches of snow reported there, down into Kankakee. That's where we continue to get some pretty moderate to heavy snow that is falling. Had reports in New Lenox area of about 8 inches of snow there. So all across southern Cook County and point south, we're talking about 8, and most likely, I imagine we will be getting some reports of foot snowfall totals. Still, you get to Bloomingdale and Addison, moderate snow that is falling there. And then as you get to those northern suburbs, if you're a snow lover and you wanted a lot of snow, this isn't your snowstorm. Wonder Lake, Cary, you're still seeing light snow there, but you are not going to see those significant accumulations like areas in the city on south. Now, as we look at the future cast, still, we're going to notice the intensity of the snow diminishing here as we go through the afternoon. And really, it's going to wind down in those far northern suburbs, far northwest suburbs, I should say, completely within the early part of the afternoon. Here in the city, I think we keep at least steady light snow going into the afternoon and evening rush. Then the next thing we watch, we talked about 2 waves. The second system snow wave stays way south of Chicago and probably will just clip Kankakee to maybe Rensselaer tomorrow. But overnight into tomorrow morning, we will be watching this lake effect band. And you see it's fairly narrow. It doesn't look as though we're going to get a broad cluster of lake effect snow like we did last Friday. But even so, there will be some additional accumulations tomorrow with that. Let's talk about accumulations through this evening. So here in the city, out to the west, and then southwest, probably toward Mendota, we're looking at 6 to 8 inch snowfall totals. You get far north, you're looking 1 to 4, even Lake County, and then farther to the south and over in northern Indiana, I am eager to see who ends up getting that foot of snow. Now let's talk about tomorrow, because this lake effect band that is going to be coming our way, it could indeed add another 2 to 4 inches of accumulation here in the city, up along the North Shore, and perhaps even places toward the south side, down through the Hyde Park area. So that is overnight tonight and through tomorrow. Farther west you get, maybe up to about an inch. Farther south, with that system snow, that second wave that we've been talking about, you're getting 1, maybe 3 from about Kankakee to Rensselaer and on south of that. Right now, the temperatures, we need to talk about this too, because yesterday we had 40s. We even had some numbers near 50 degrees. Whew, not now. We're in the teens. 18 degrees at O'Hare, 22 at Midway, 27 in Hammond, and it is now 15 degrees in the Cortland area. And hold on, because wind chills are in the single digits, and you get out to Genoa, the wind chill is 3 below 0. So it's cold, it's snowy, it's windy. These wind chills are going to continue to be well down into those single digits. So we're going to plan on snow here through the afternoon for much of the area. The exception is going to be across the far northwest suburbs. That it will end for those of you in Cary, Algonquin, Marengo, the Coral region. So you will see it winding down there probably early afternoon. We're still going to call this an AccuWeather alert day, and we're going to keep that AccuWeather alert sign, if you will, posted into tomorrow, because we will be watching the potential for some of that lake effect too. And then as you look at that 7-day, it stays cold, and we certainly have enough snow cover on the ground to sustain that snow, and that snow cover and the temperatures will sustain all that snow for a while for kids who want to get their sleds out. But now, Roz, busy as a bee, I know that. What are you starting with now?
Well, you know what? It's having an impact on the roads, the rails, the air, but we'll start with Metra, because on UP North, they've got to do some emergency track repairs. So inbound and outbound trains during the midday period and until further notice are running up to a half-hour behind schedule, and there have been some cancellations. So definitely check before you go. As we broaden things out and look at the big picture, you can see that we've got slowdown system-wide. The expressways, the tollways, the road conditions are so poor you simply can't go any faster than 40, 45 miles an hour. Maybe you've got to be cautious out there because we've got slick and snow-covered conditions, and to go along with that, a lot of problems. One area of concern is I-55 down in the Joliet area. There have been numerous spin-outs, slide-offs, semis in the ditch because of icing in that stretch between US 52 and Route 53. A lot of cars on the shoulder, and it's been a very troublesome area. We've been keeping an eye on some other areas. Now, when we talk about these icy conditions, this is a result of that. The ramp from eastbound 88, the Reagan Tollway, to the northbound Tri-State, it's closed. The reason it's closed is because there are so many vehicles that can't get up that incline, and now we have a stall, most likely a stalled semi, that's completely blocking that ramp. And we're seeing a lot of that throughout the system. A lot of the ramps have been difficult to navigate. Crashes, multiple crashes. In the suburbs, we just got word of one in Oak Brook at 16th and Roosevelt. We've got this crash. This was a situation that's been going on for a long time up in the Great Lakes area in Lake County, Illinois. Route 137, just east of US 41, has been blocked for hours because of malfunctioning railroad signals. So they're not letting anybody get through there. And then we have another road that's closed in the Hawthorne Woods area. This is Indian Creek Road, pretty lengthy stretch between Gilmer and Diamond Lake because of a crash, ongoing investigation and cleanup. And we're seeing a lot of crashes system-wide. Now I want to talk about Northwest Indiana, because we've got roads that are snow-covered, and you can see how terribly slow this traffic is heading westbound on 8094 between I-65 and the Illinois state line. It's just a really messy day out there. Let's take a look at a couple of our cameras. I want to start with our tollway camera. This is I-88 at 294. So you're looking east as that traffic turns into the Eisenhower. This just gives you an idea of what the road conditions look like. They really continue to be be snow covered. And part of that is a lot of folks are heeding the warning. They're not heading out on the roads, and that allows more of that snow to accumulate. Storm Tracker Live, they are out in the Naperville area, taking a look at the surface streets out in the suburbs. This is Ogden, Route 34, and yes, it remains snow covered and difficult to get around. I also wanted to mention that we've been monitoring airport delays. So right now at O'Hare, we are seeing the delays not so much as the cancellations. Almost 400 cancellations, somewhere in the area of 388 cancellations, and almost 80 cancellations at Midway. So Tanya and Terrell, this is going to be a challenging day. I don't even want to say morning or afternoon, just a challenging day if you need to be out and about.
Yeah, and for those who do, Roz, thank you so much for that, by the way. Let's check in with Maria Castaneda, Illinois Department of Transportation, on the phone with us live right now. Maria, Tanya and Terrell are with you. Can you hear us? Hey, Maria, can you hear us?
Maria, Tanya and Terrell are with you. Can you hear us?
Oh, Maria, just want to see if you can hear us. Illinois Department of Transportation, Tanya and Terrell here. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
There you are. All right, Maria. Nice to hear your voice. Walk us through it. What are you seeing out there right now? What's going on?
Yeah, so there's definitely still a lot of snow-covered roads out there and a lot of slick spots. We really want to make sure that motorists are aware of the bridges and the ramps and those overpasses. We've been out in the morning, but of course, as this commute dies down, we're able to obviously shift more into gear. Because during the commute, we're still stuck in traffic like everyone else. But, we really want to remind people to drive for conditions. We're seeing a lot of people going a little faster than conditions. And then with those slick spots, you're going to find those spin outs. So please give yourself that extra time and that extra distance so that you're able to stop. The other thing is if you see our plows out there, please give them extra room. Give them room to plow. It's always better behind the plow than in front of the plow. And if they do get hit, we have to take them off the system, and we really do not want to do that on a day like today.
Maria, we heard a little bit from Roz Varon about slowdowns, especially around Joliet. I-55, she said lots of spin-outs, slide-offs, semis in the ditch there between US 52 and 53. What other problem spots can you identify for us?
Sure. So, pretty much wherever you are, it's always slicker on those ramps and over bridges and overpasses. Those tend to freeze up a lot more quickly. Of course, south of, 55, south of 88, it's definitely a lot more snowier than like way up north by the Wisconsin border. But the main thing today, on days like today, is make sure that you've got that extra distance to slow down. Even though it may look fairly clear, there's those slick spots. So, definitely slow down. The other thing we do want to remind motorists is to have that full tank of gas, full tank of windshield wiper fluid, and if you do find yourself in need of help, our ETP patrol is out there, and definitely to help stranded motorists.
All right, Maria Castaneda, Illinois Department of Transportation. Maria, nice to talk to you. Thank you for the update. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one, and good luck today. We'll check back a little later on. Want to check in with Jessica D'Onofrio now out in Hinsdale. Jess, what's it looking like out there? What's going on?
Well, Terrell, I'm not going to sugarcoat it here. It's really, really bad out here in the southwest suburbs. I've been out in the southwest suburbs all morning since about 3 o'clock this morning. The drive down I-55, very treacherous. You can't see the lane markers, but right now we've settled here in Hinsdale, and we went from Willowbrook to Hinsdale, and that's about as far as we wanted to go because it was such a treacherous drive, even to go from one municipality to the other. You can see the roads over here. Check that out. You can see that they are still snow covered, and that's because as soon as a plow comes by, more snow fills it in. And as you heard Roz mention, there aren't as many people on the roadways right now, so they're not exactly carving paths. And that's a good thing. They're heeding the warning. Stay inside today. Don't hit the roads. I was on the road this morning, like I said, trying to get from Willowbrook here to Hinsdale, and it was pretty scary here in the daylight. Take a look at the sidewalks here. You can see that some people have come by. They are starting to to plow. They are starting to use their snow blowers so that people can walk by. George, if I can point people over here, you can see just how much snow is accumulated. And of course, we did get a round of snow before, but it is just adding on top and on top. There are several inches of snow on the ground here in Hinsdale. So, I mean, as you go out, if you go out this morning, be very, very careful. I'm going to swing you around to show you the metro station here in downtown Hinsdale. Pardon me. We've been getting quite a bit of blowing snow, and that's evident when you look at the roof. Sometimes you can see the snow blowing, so you can see the wind. You would expect to see a lot of commuters this morning, possibly on any normal day, but this is no normal day. That metro station has been virtually empty. We've spoken to a few people who have had to commute into the city this morning very reluctantly. One gentleman said he had a test that he needed to take downtown, so he had to go. He had his father drive him here so that he didn't leave his car outside so that it could get snowed in. But one thing we're hearing from homeowners here too is they have to do their snow shoveling or their plowing in maybe 2 to 3 different rounds. Because, again, once you start, you have to start over again because this snow keeps falling, and it has been falling for hours. It keeps on falling. It will be falling for the next few hours. According to Tracy, we just have not seen this let up. So, again, we're here in Hinsdale. We've been talking to some folks out here battling, fighting this snow, trying to get to work, or just staying home. So we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
That persistent and accumulating snow, Jess, obviously posing a problem for drivers out there in the southwestern suburbs. Thank you so much. You heard Jessica also talk about blowing snow. That fast falling snow and the blowing snow are producing visibility problems as well. Let's go to Tracy for an update.
Absolutely. And so we've had visibilities down to a half, even a quarter of a mile around the area. Currently, around the Hinsdale area, the snow is falling lighter than it was. And around Hinsdale, reports of about 5 to 6 inches of snow that has accumulated there. The heaviest snow that's falling at this very second is from Michigan City down through Valparaiso and down toward that Grant Park area into Kankakee County. Out in those western suburbs, the snow is falling lighter, and then certainly up in the northern suburbs, it's very gentle. Now we look at the futurecast. So we will see it continuing to diminish in intensity during the afternoon. However, here in the city, I do not think we see snow actually winding down and ending until we get early evening. But then we're going to watch much later this evening and overnight tonight for a band of lake effect snow to get going. And this most likely is going to add another maybe 2, maybe 4 inches of accumulation areas right along the lakeside. And I'm talking on the Illinois side with this. So snowfall amounts as we go through the rest of the day, we're still looking at totals coming in over a foot far south. Tanya and Terrell.
Thank you, Tracy. Well, we will be back with another update in about 10 minutes. And a reminder, you can always get updates at abc7chicago.com and on our free news app.
This has been an ABC7 AccuWeather update from Eyewitness News.